Good morning to one and all. I am Hasitha of 10th class. Today I am going to explain about the internal structure of the heart and cardiac cycle. Now let us start learning about the internal structure of the heart. The heart is a pear-shaped structure, triangle in outline, wider at the anterior end and narrower at the posterior end. The heart is covered by a two-layered membrane. This is called pericardium or pericardial membrane. The space between these two layers is filled with pericardial fluid. This pericardial fluid protects the heart from shocks. The heart is divided into four chambers. They are true atria or auricles and two ventricles. Atria are present in the anterior part of the heart and ventricles are present at posterior part of the heart. The blood vessels found in the walls of the heart are coronary vessels. As we know that blood vessels are classified into three: arteries, veins and blood capillaries. Arteries are the blood vessels which originate from the heart and supply blood to the various organs in the body. The largest artery is aorta. The relatively small artery is pulmonary artery which carries blood from heart to the lungs. The veins are the blood vessels which bring blood from all the body parts to the heart. The vein which is at the anterior end of the right side of the heart is superior vena cava, which collects blood from anterior parts, head and neck of the body. The vein which brings blood from posterior parts of the body like hands, legs, etc. is inferior vena cava. The two atria and two ventricles are separated from each other by muscular partitions called septa. The openings between atria and ventricles are guarded by valves. The valve present between the right atrium and right ventricle is called right atrioventricular valve or tricuspid valve. The valve which is present between left atrium and left ventricle is called as left atrioventricular valve or bicuspid valve or mitral valve. A major blood vessel that originates from right ventricle is called as pulmonary aorta or pulmonary artery. The valve present at the region of pulmonary aorta are called pulmonary valves. A major blood vessels that originate from left ventricle is called systemic aorta. The valves present at the region of systemic aorta are called systemic valves. In the right atrium, we can observe the openings of superior and inferior vena cava. In the left atrium, we can observe the openings of pulmonary veins that bring blood from lungs. Aorta arises from the upper part of the left ventricle and it supplies oxygenated blood to the body parts from heart. From the upper part of the right ventricle, pulmonary artery arises that supplies deoxygenated blood to the lungs from the heart. Now let us start learning about cardiac cycle. First of all, we will learn some important facts about heart. It is the heartbeat of the heart which sends blood rushing to the different parts of our body. Heart is located in between the lungs and is protected by rib cage. The size of our heart is approximately the size of our fist. The human heart starts beating around 21st day during the embryonic development. If it stops beating, it results in the death of a person. One contraction and one relaxation of atria and ventricles is called one cardiac cycle. We start with the imagination that all the four chambers of the heart are relaxed state, that is diastole. Blood from vena cava and pulmonary veins enter the right and left atria respectively. Now atria contract, forcing the blood to enter into the ventricles. When the ventricles are filled with blood, they start contracting and atria start relaxing. The aperture between the atria and ventricles is closed by valves. On ventricular contraction, due to pressure, the blood moves into the aorta and pulmonary artery. When valves are closed forcibly, we can listen the first sharp sound of the heart lub. When the ventricles start relaxing, the pressure in the ventricles is reduced. The blood which has entered the arteries tries to come back into ventricles. The valves which are present in the blood vessels are closed to prevent backward flow of the blood into the ventricles. Now we can listen to a dull sound of the heart dub. The atria are filled up with blood and are ready to pump the blood into ventricles. These sequential events in the heart, which are cyclically repeated, are called cardiac cycle. Blood is pumped into the blood vessels at regular intervals. The tissue do not receive the blood continuously but in the form of spurts. When we keep our finger at the wrist, when the artery is passing into the hand, we feel the pressure of the blood moving in it. This is the pulse. The rate of the pulse will be equal to the number of heartbeats. The rate of heartbeat is indirectly proportional to the weight of the body of an organism. For example, the average weight of a blue whale is 1,50,000 kg and weight of the heart of blue whale is 750 kg and the rate of heartbeat in blue whale is only 7 times per minute. Whereas coming to hummingbird, the weight of the hummingbird is 3 grams, but the rate of the heartbeat in hummingbird is nearly 1200 heartbeats per minute.